All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Probably evening where you are. Welcome to a late night bedtime edition of Alexandra Mayers Live. I have my StreamYard link activated, so if you want to pop in and say hello, you can, as long as you're someone who, for whatever reason, has no business talking to me. But I hope all of you had a good day today. I definitely did. Let's see, let's bring up the chat over here. I've been getting a lot done lately. Happy about that. All right, so updates with my online activity. Let's think about this. Um, I reached a good stopping point when it comes to the IP2 Wiki Info channel. I might pick that up again one day, but I'm going to put the time that I was putting into that channel into the Poor News Today project because I want to relaunch that live stream properly for Poor News Today. So I got that going on. Um, there's a certain person that I really want to go into the history and lore of, simply because this person has been so problematic for so many people for such a long time, and I had a really bad experience with them. And they seem to think that they can get away with whatever in the hell it is that they want to get away with indefinitely, and I want them to know that they can't. So I'll be working on that this month. I'm probably going to focus on this person for like a couple of months, but that's it. What else? I've pretty much figured out where outside of the United States I'm going to end up settling. That's kind of big news. I'm not going to say where for obvious reasons, but I figured that out. So I'm happy about it. And what else? Not much else. Not much. I've reached some personal conclusions as of late when it comes to exactly where I am in my life right now, positives and negatives. And I mean, as always, I'm keeping toxic people out of my life as much as possible. And that's it. So, again, the StreamYard link is active for those who might want to join and say hello. Otherwise, that's all I got going on. I'm just chilling. I restarted my page by page reading of the Bible. I needed that 7 days to digest what I'd read so far. I definitely did. And I'm very disappointed with the book of Leviticus. Extremely so. I think it's very, it just kind of shows how both Christianity and Judaism are very excluding to people rather than being inclusive. So I'm rethinking my own faith. I'm rethinking Christianity to quite the extent. But I haven't gone through the whole Bible yet, so I might change my mind. You never know. You never know. Ugh. I've gotten to the good part, but we'll see. Like I said, it's a page by page reading. I tend to read one chapter per day, sometimes more, sometimes less. Hey, Genesis Barry, how are you doing? Long time no see. Everyone subscribe to Genesis Barry's channel. Well, that's nice that you do it with your mom. Resonate. That's nice. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You didn't miss anything. Nothing worth your time. I've just been dealing with a bunch of weirdos and weird drama that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. I'm not talking to a lot of people anymore. So, you're like one of the few people that actually I'm glad that we haven't been talking because if we had been talking, I might have mistakenly lumped you in who I don't want to talk to anymore. Seriously. Um yeah, yeah. I have my recapping system down like perfectly, for some of my podcasts. I'm going to start recapping this guy known as well, actually I'm not going to say who it is, but he touts himself as being a real vampire and he's on YouTube. And like a lot of times you see people and you're like, "Oh, that's obviously not a vampire." I think this one is for just a couple of reasons. And he also seems to be a writer. So I'm going to start recapping him because I want to interview him. I have a question. Yeah, I do. I do, Genesis. From 2020 to like the end of last year, I genuinely wanted to expand my friendship network and everything, and make new connections with people. And I swear, just about every single person I met turned out to be a user or a liar or both. And I just, I guess I'll just look at it like an experiment that failed. But I mean, some of these people, it's like not only did they act surprised when I figured out really what was going on with them, but then they wanted to completely flip the script. And it's like, really? I don't think so. Like in a lot of ways, I'm glad that by nature I'm kind of a closed person at times, because I think to myself, like, what if I had introduced that one cat that I tried to help in November to my actual in person social circle? That would have been a nightmare, because already it was a nightmare. Yeah, it does hurt. I mean, that's the thing. I got this big group of people coming at me, and it's like, if I was anyone else, I would probably be suicidal. Just considering the tactics that they use, how aggressive they are, the pure gang mentality. I'm a pretty strong person, but still, certain things, they hurt my feelings, but that's okay because I do have recourse. I have my own damn platforms. I've already documented the hell out of some of these people. They're not going to be able to pull that shit anymore. So, whatever. Yeah. Well, what it is, Genesis, is that you and I are well rounded people, and we're adventurous people, and we both embody a certain level of courage and bravery. But a lot of people, and I've noticed, especially women who never really lived their life, who have just always had really boring lives, and who embody a lot of jealousy and envy, they will target you. You got to be careful. Seriously, be careful of middle aged to older women who have just completely let themselves go, meaning physically, who don't work, who are lazy, and who are just too into trying to attain attention from other men outside of their husbands or boyfriends. I really only want to connect with women who are not what I just described. Seriously. Ugh. Ugh. I don't want to stereotype people, but it's like, whatever. It's just been a bit much. Yeah, well, there's one in particular I'm calling out. And you know what's really fucked up about one in particular? When I first connected with him, he acted like he was not judgmental of my past in the adult industry. And then later, he said on his live stream what he really thought about me. He always thought that about me from the start. So, I mean, if he thinks he's going to be some sort of a podcast host who draws other adult entertainers into his little realm of dysfunction to interview, he better think twice. I'm putting his ass right on Porn News today, and I'm putting a big headline that says, "Beware of this piece of shit." I hate when people think that they can utilize current and ex-adult entertainers for popularity or traffic or clout, but then in actuality look down their noses at such people, at me. I'm not down with that. Tired of it. I'm real tired of it. So that's what's on my mind a little bit. But what else? Um, in the project that I'm putting together to call him out, I'm going to experiment with injecting some blast from the past, sort of cartoon recaps, just view some like snippets of things, but give my perspective as an adult. I think that would be a fun thing to do. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool way I go about it. But I'm thinking about getting started on that project tomorrow. Thank you, Genesis. I appreciate it. I appreciate your compassion and your empathy and your kindness. I really do. So, what else going on with everybody? I want to go see that movie, The Little Mermaid. I'm on a quest to go and see it. I think that maybe this weekend I'll go see it. I think that'll be fun. I haven't been to the movie theater in a long time. I have to go see it because I've become obsessed. I've been watching all the Little Mermaid clips and everything on YouTube. I'm like walking around the apartment singing songs. Under the sea. Yeah. I love Disney. I really do. I think that they're going to come up. I mean, Disney just makes me happy for the most part. It makes me real happy. I like it. Like, I could be in the worst mood, but if something Disney, if I watch like a Disney movie, I feel a million times better. So, you know. Well, you are right, Genesis. I look, in no way do I disagree with you on that. Let me put this up here because you are so correct. You are so correct. I mean, that's why I mean, look, the reason I like Disney now, knowing that what you just outlined is never going to happen, is that I do like to still fantasize about that kind of thing happening. You know, keeps you young. But I do hate in a lot of ways. Like maybe I've just come to peace with Disney. I've come to peace with it, okay? But I kind of do feel that in a strange sort of way, Disney brainwashed me into going about looking for love in the wrong ways in my youth. Definitely. So I see what you're saying there. I see exactly what you're saying. Disney is a very effective brainwashing tool. Oh, it's evil. It's a little evil. Everything fun is. Just a tad. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you eat pizza every day, um, you're not going to be too healthy. That's not a good idea. Well, sometimes the fairy tale romance does happen, okay? It does happen sometimes. I've had some fairy tale type relationships. Um, I guess they didn't result in long term, happily ever afters, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm kind of glad. But sometimes fairy tale romances do happen. Sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not going to knock every single guy I've dated. I'll knock some of them, but not all of them. Yeah, well, pizza is delicious, especially Pizza Hut pizza. I like the Pizza Hut meat lovers pizza. That's very good. Very, very good. Mine either, Genesis. Mine either. My parents honestly didn't explain much of anything to me. That's part of the problem. I don't know how I made it to adulthood. I don't know. I don't know. They didn't. I was the first, so maybe that's part of the problem. They didn't know what they were doing so much. Oh, the stuffed crust. Look, if you eat just one slice of that stuffed crust, you're gonna be stuffed yourself. I won't go with the stuffed crust because I just feel like that's like a heart attack waiting to happen. But I like the pan crust meat lovers pizza a lot. Maybe I'll get one of those tomorrow. Oh, you're an only child? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's very filling. You know what? That's the only problem, really. Being single in a lot of ways, ordering a pizza, because whenever it's pointless to get the small pizza because then you're still hungry. You're going to want more than just that small size. So you get the medium and you have too many leftovers. And you might get back to eating it the next day, you might not. There needs to be a size of Pizza Hut pizza between small and medium. It needs to be like a smaller medium. Oh, that's interesting. That's how an open adoption works, huh? I didn't know about that. I'll tell you this. If I ever make it to India, I'm going to adopt a kid from there. I've made up my mind about that. I'm going to pick up a kid. Seriously. I've been watching that guy, Sunny IRL, and his trip to India, and I want to go to India. Oh, hey, Ansha. How are you doing? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it would depend on the circumstance, Genesis. It depends. But it's very easy to adopt a child from India. And I feel like, I don't know, as I look at the Indian people, I kind of relate to them for some reason. I think I'm just going to go to India and adopt a little, uh, find a little brown Indian girl and bring her back to America. I'll probably do that when I'm around 50. I feel like I'll be in a good position in life at that point. Mm. Well, I understand that. I don't understand, but I could see how a person could feel that way if they never knew who their parents were. I could understand that. Well, that sounds like a nice day, Anja. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just on here relaxing a little bit. Thanks, Genesis. Well, I just decided, if I ever go to India, which I probably will, that's where I'm going to get my child from. Yeah, well, there's a lot of really impoverished people in India, and a lot of kids are either abandoned or, something happens. So, you know, but I'm going to wait till I'm close to 50. So I have about 5.5 years to get it together a bit more. And I'm not going to find like a super small kid. I'm thinking a kid maybe who's like, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe something like that. Yeah, well, I could see myself doing it. That's what's crazy. I even dreamed about it the other night. I dreamed that I went to India, and I know it was because I just finished watching that guy Sunny, who's in India right now, because I'm really enjoying watching his series. But I dreamed that I went to India and I had a little girl. That's what I dreamed. I dreamed I found a little girl. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I've kind of given up on, trying to find a guy or anything to have a family with because I'm no offense to any guys watching, but I just feel like men are totally inherently evil. I hate saying that, but you know, that's what I think, Genesis, because I had that dream about it. That's what I think. I guess it seems like going through a lot of trouble to find a kid, but I don't know. It's some, I can just see myself doing it. I can see myself getting on the plane, going to India, touring around for a couple of weeks. You know, like I said, I want to do this in a few years, not like at this moment. I'll be in a better financial position, and you know, I'll make some appointments with some adoption agencies, and you know, I'll be like, hey, match me with a little girl, and I'm sure that they will. There's probably, you know, like maybe that little girl, like right now at this moment, was just recently born. Maybe, you know, something's going on to where her parents can't take care of her, and in about 5 years, she's going to be my little girl. Because that's what I want. I want someone who's like a 5 year old, maybe 4 years old to 6 years old. Not a baby baby, you know, just you know, a kid. Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? Men nowadays, you know what it is? It's the freaking social media. The social media has spoiled men in a lot of ways. Too much instant gratification. That they don't value women enough. And a lot of women don't value men either. You know, it really does have to do with the social media, and the easy accessibility that people have to each other, you know. Instead of people like calling each other and having real phone conversations, they send a text or a DM, not even a text anymore, a DM. Um, it's made it to where too many men can be players, like serious players. And a lot of people, they claim to be in these committed relationships, but then they're having these relationships also. And I consider that cheating. I don't care what anyone says. I consider that to be cheating. So, you know, I'm just not really for how a lot of men are at this stage. I don't want to waste my time. Well, thanks, Genesis. Thanks. I appreciate that. It really pisses me off to see these people who are parents who don't even appreciate being parents. I'm just going to say it. Honestly, I don't understand how certain men and women manage to even procreate because they're just horrible people. I mean, I get it. Like, who am I to judge? But some people, I don't even understand how they manage to get into relationships. It's weird. I mean, are people just settling left and right? I'll tell you this, a lot of women trap guys. Okay? They do. You know, I get a lot of criticism for not having a boyfriend or a husband right now. Keep in mind, I was once married when I was younger, for not having kids. But you know what? Guess what? I never felt the need to trap somebody. The only reason that there's a lot of women out there with kids is because they tricked the guy and trapped them. That's the only reason a lot of women are married. They trapped the guy with the pregnancy. I didn't feel the need to do that. Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with that. I have been hoping for some sort of like ET intervention or alien arrival so I could have some more options outside of Earthmen. Seriously. Because I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I can just tell. Because I'm not settling for some fool. No. And I'm not doing certain things. I'm just not. So I'm just kind of like, trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to at least be okay up until I'm really old? Because I'm probably going to die alone. That's why, I mean, not, that isn't why, but, being that I'm not going to have a biological kid, most likely, I'm definitely going to adopt a little girl. Yeah. And I'm going to be really good to her so that when I'm really, really old and I'm senile and crap, maybe she'll care enough to at least, put me in a home, something. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of married people nowadays are in open relationships and they don't admit it. Because with this cheating, because that's what it is. Mm-mm. And then if you choose not to mess with a married guy, and if he keeps, because they'll stalk you, they'll keep coming at you, coming at you, coming at you, and then you call them out. Society deems you, the woman, as being the problem instead of the married guy. Just encountered that crap recently, got some judgment for that because I wasn't willing to mess with the married guy. So it's just to the point. It's just to the point. And I mean, it should be illegal for married guys to even talk to single women. It should be totally illegal. Throw them to the wolves. Jail's not enough. Throw them into a lion's den and let the lions tear them to pieces. Yeah. Oh, I hope the Arcturians are coming. Need somebody. Shit. I'm done with men from Earth. I'm only accepting men from other planets. Oh God, not you again, Gigi Allen. You are so not welcome here. You are so not welcome here. Uh-uh. I'm sick of that whole crew of people. No more of you white supremacists. There's too many white supremacists. They're not welcome in here. No. I dealt with your weird ass communities, your weird ass groups. I hate you all. I hate you. I just do. And I'm talking about these IRL people. I am not talking about you, Genesis Berry. I'm not talking about you, Anja. It's just that I've dealt with a group of people recently who are really bad people. They truly are white supremacists. I don't want anything to do with them. And they keep trying to troll and come in my chat room when I go live. I wish I had never, ever met these people. I'm going to fix all their asses. I'm going to fix all their asses. They're gonna rue the day that they bothered me. They're going to rue the day. I've always wanted to use that phrase, rue the day. Yeah, yeah. Well, you're gonna like how I call out this one cat who's at the root of a lot of this shit that I've been contending with. You're gonna really like how I do it. I'm gonna do it with style, grace, and class. It's going to be an entertaining show, and it's just gonna be to where he's never gonna be able to operate the same in his life again. I made my outline and my plan today. I think I'm going to initiate my plan tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. I block them, but they have like a million alts. They have a million alts. It's like, it makes me wonder. It's weird. It's like, what do? They just sit around all day collecting their government checks, making various alts on YouTube or whatever social media it is. That's what they do. I've never seen anything like it. It's weird. I'm going to have 1 million alts on YouTube. It's like, what? It's real weird. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes that works. Sometimes that does work, Genesis. I'm glad you actually brought that up because I think I'm going to do that when it comes to a certain person who has a bunch of alts that I think I will send an email and report the list because I have been keeping tabs. Definitely. They probably do. They probably do, Anja. And they all cover for each other too. That's how I know it's all like one gang or group. And they try to use psychological triggers like, oh, I know that you think this way, or I know that you think that way. It's like, bitch, you don't know what's in my head. All you know is what I show you. But yeah, one of their little leaders, he's fucked. So let's see what else is going on. They're awful people. They're totally awful. What's really scary to me is that, like, I just think about the level of intensity that they come at you with. The level of intensity is really bad. And if you're a certain, like, what if I had never experienced the kind of harassment that they dish out? Like, as you can see, there's someone who keeps trying to come in here, and I have to keep blocking them because they have like 1 million alt accounts. But what if I wasn't experienced with dealing with that? It would make you feel suicidal. Their goal is to push people over the edge to kill themselves. And they're all linked to that juggalo shit. That's why the FBI deemed the juggalos to be a gang. They are a gang. My experience with them is proof that they are a gang. All these racists I've dealt with, they all are linked to that juggalo community. They're a solid gang. I think they all need to be rounded up and thrown in prison, personally. I'm documenting all of it because if something weird happens to me, I want those people investigated and I want them picked up. That's a part of it, Anja. That's a part of it. But they have no right to harass me consistently after I've made it known that they fucked up with me. You know what I mean? They need to let it go. A lot of black women in America, I don't know about in other countries, a lot of black women contend with that issue. We contend with a lot of racism from white women who are jealous of white men who might be attracted to black women opposed to them for whatever reason. And we deal with a lot of racism from white American men who get mad at themselves for being attracted to black women, or not even just black women, Asian women, Latin women, whatever. And it makes them like lash out more. And then you have white men who are attracted to black women, but who really hate black men, which is weird. They're scared of black men. So it's all weird. I'm just to the point now to where you know I don't want to deal with these hateful people at all, and I understand why a lot of people of color don't want to deal with any white people at all ever. I'm not going to say I feel that way, but I've just had a really bad experience with white Americans over the past couple of years. Really, really, really bad experience. It's actually a hate crime. The legal situation I'm contending with, that thing's going to be labeled a hate crime. It is mental illness that I've been contending with to an extent, yeah. And I just want to make it clear, I know not all white Americans are racist or hateful or overly aggressive or anything, but I kind of think that since the pandemic, um, the ones who are really racist, they've been able to spread their hate more so on the internet just because people have had to isolate themselves because of the pandemic. But I don't know. I think things have gotten worse, unfortunately. I think that they have. Not to say that things can't get better, but I don't know what's going to have to happen. I don't know. Scary. But it is what it is. Yeah, I think what really surprised me the most about the racism is how they do tend to want to equate people of color to animals. I really did not think that anyone in this decade would subscribe to that mentality, but that seems to be what the white supremacist groups push the most. They want to equate people of color to animals. That's what and you know, when you really think about that, it almost, you know what I think that they want to equate people of color to animals because some of these people who are racist and stuff in actuality want to be with animals. That's what I think. Because I mean, some of the things that I've seen people write on the forums and say, some things that have been said to my face, um, these people are not normal at all. I disagree. I think that I honestly, I think that the most racist um are white Americans and also white South Americans. Um, I'm sure that there are Europeans who are white who are really racist, but um, they don't seem to have the same thing. It's like something different within white Americans that make them like a whole different ball game racist. It's weird, and it's not all, but it's enough. But you know, that's why I decided. I tried with certain communities. I'm not talking to any of them anymore. Never again, ever. Hmm. Yeah. So thanks for letting me vent and complain tonight, ladies. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Um, I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to sleep. But everyone subscribe to Genesis Berry, her link on her channel. I think that is it. Let me make sure I have the updated link for you. I know I have you linked up on IRL 24/7, but let me put your link in the chat. Just give me a second. Go to channel. I'm going to put your link in the chat. Are you mainly on Twitch? All right, that's Genesis link, everybody. You can subscribe to her. Oh, cool. Okay, so you're back on YouTube sometimes. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to me complain. Thanks for watching. I'll be back another time. Alexandra Mayers Live. Peace out.